Okay. All right, Lady Ada, what is this?
Wow, is it another Wednesday at 7:30 p.m.? Yes, it is. And it's time for the Adafruit Show and Tell. This is a half an hour of good times and fun where me, Lady Ada, Mr. Lady Ada, Blink of the Snake, and the Adafruit Factory as our background, is host to you at this lovely tea and biscuits party. But instead of tea and biscuits, it's all about electronics and making and crafting and hacking and 3D printing and music and whatever else you're making. Come on by. Show us what you're doing. Hang out by the fire. We're going to have some Adafruit folks, and we're going to have a whole bunch of people. We can get out of here at 7:50, so take 2 to 3 minutes to show off your project. Mute your mic when we call on you. Let's start with Noe and Pedro. You want to kick it off?
Yes, with pleasure. Hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, guys. So we got a Christmas/Halloween inspired project for this week. It is a Cricut. Whoa.
Hey, where's it going?
Gift box.
Okay, get back here.
So it's supposed to be a Halloween project, but we didn't have enough time for that. So we decided to make it into a Christmas project. It's a spooky gift box. So it's powered by Cricut Playground, and we got a PIR sensor here that's just sensing the motion. So when something comes up, we got some spooky, creepy music, all dressed up in like a Tim Burton type style box. Super easy to put together. It's just cardboard box that's holding everything together. Of course, with 3D printed mount for the Cricut. Everything's written by Lamar and CircuitPython, so super cool. If you can give a gift like of electronics, why not give it in a form of a project that's pretty much ready to go and customize like little Lego bits.
Oh, you mean like giving somebody like a robotics kit, but the robotics kit runs away from you?
Exactly, yeah. So plenty of room for adding like a solenoid or something, like have the box to go up, add like a hollowing or something, have like a creepy eye pointing, sticking out. Did a whole hour show explaining how to put this together, make a custom one, mix and rearrange all the parts on there. We have a whole guide on that as well. Check it out. Full video. Nice. Super easy to customize like a Lego, parts for a project. Super cool.
Here we go.
All right, thanks, folks. Okay, next up, Kattni. What are you blinking?
So you had me test the Character LCD Shield, and it turns out that it wasn't supported at all. So I have been working on rewriting the library to actually support it. And here is where I'm at. Okay,
let's see it. Oh, red. Hello, CircuitPython, amazing. Nice work. Ooh, different colors. Purple. Backwards. That's forwards for you now because you're...
Exactly.
Okay, cursor. Yeah, this is all the demos. This is just using the amazing open source, weekly typed language Python. You have one character LCD library and you're passing in different level shifters and GPIO expanders, and it looks good.
So it now has all the functionality that the monochrome one does, because RGB actually didn't have any of that extra functionality before I added it. So that is what I have been up to.
Okay, well, it looks great, and I think people really appreciate it. It's one of our older libraries, and it could really use a good scrubbing down. All right, thank you, Kattni.
Good so far. All right.
All right, next up, JP.
Hey, guys. So can you hear me? Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. So I last week showed a project that used our Trellis M4 to send MIDI commands out to a software synthesizer. This week, we've got an all-in-one self-contained sequencer for doing sample-based and wave file-based drum sequencing. So all the sounds are being played off of this. I'm not driving another synth. And there's lots and lots to it. I'm going to show a bunch of details tomorrow on my live stream, but I just wanted to show a little demo. And the main thing you'll see is I'm going to use these green buttons here to do beat repeats. So stuttering a beat, a fast stutter of a beat, and also jump, where you can jump back in the sequence, and when you release, it resumes where you were in the sequence. So here we go. Let me turn up the volume, and I'll make it all big. Let's try to make it all giant. There we go.
Ooh, it's giant. Yay! That's awesome.
So come on by tomorrow at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time to John Park's workshop, and I'm going to go into some details. This has all kinds of cool features. I've only just scratched the surface here today.
Yeah, it also has some really cool accelerometer-based motion, which I don't want to ruin it, so you have to watch JP's live stream. But
we've got our ADXL 343 from Analog Devices in there that lets us do some effects with the tilt, which I love. It's super intuitive and fun to play with that. So
yeah,
we've played a lot of cool videos and more on Ask an Engineer with JP doing some things with MIDI and with some open source tools like Helm. So tune in for that in the next hour.
Amazing. All right.
You go to the sequencer now.
Yeah.
Speaking of sequencers, do you want to get a call in now?
Yeah, Colin, you ready?
Oh, yeah, sure. I was just eating a granola bar before, so I didn't want to go to me.
Well, that's good that you're.
But I'm done now.
You're fed.
I'm very satisfied. But I'm also satisfied by the Trellis M4. Like JP, I very much have been enjoying playing with it. I remember when I started playing with it that one of the things I liked most about playing with grids was arpeggiators. So playing a note and then other notes play relative to that note after it in sequence. So I made an arpeggiator for the Neo Trellis. I'm going to switch to that camera if the fates allow it.
Yeah.
And you see this. So when I press one button, other notes will play relative to its position. It's a little hard to tell with these colors, but you can basically see that there's a note playing.
Yeah, we can see it.
That. Yeah, so you can go and there's polyphony and everything. The sounds are being generated on board. You get the idea. It's pretty fun.
Yay! You're totally a Norwegian synth band.
Yeah, I think it can happen. I just need, you know, an alias name, and we're gonna make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, nice work, Colin. And you'll be posting that up.
What's up?
You'll be posting that up soon.
I'll be posting that up soon. There's easy to change settings, so you can modify it and make it your own.
All right. New York Science Club is Colin's workbench.
It's got everything. It's got
everything.
Black Cats named MIDI.
Yeah.
I got many tables and a cat. Yep. I've been talking about MIDI a lot lately, and her attention has been very ears perk up all the time.
Okay, Mike.
Mike B.
Yeah. You say something?
Okay. In true live fashion, you know, something happened, but I'm using Neo Trellis also. I was working with Dano, and we did the Star Trek soundboard. It's up on learn.adafruit.com, and you can push the buttons, and it makes all kinds of great sounds. Right now, mine won't because Windows is stuck on an empty CircuitPython drive, and so I think I have to reboot my computer. I don't think it's the Neo Trellis. I think somehow Windows got confused on the drives because I tried to do it.
Live demo. That's okay. Maybe next week.
Well, I've got a couple other things to show off.
Okay.
I've been using for Neo Trellis. You want like some headphones or like an amplifier so you can listen with your headphones or something like that. Every good maker should have like an amplifier handy because they'll grab an audio thing and they need amplified sound. So I did that back when I was a young maker, and I went down to Radio Shack and I picked up this little box. It's an Archer amplifier. It's mono. It has in and out and a volume control. And if you peek in the back, you can see that it uses the LM386 single channel amplifier chip, which was used a lot back in the day. So this is fun. Like all the old electronics has the schematic back on the inside of the case.
Ooh, that's so cool.
Yeah, in case you want to fix it or do something with it.
Exactly. That's what you should do. Is you'd buy something and it would include the schematic in the manual, or maybe on the back of the back cover, kind of pasted on. So
yeah, that's
when I put up my iPhone, it had that in there.
Well, yeah. So I've got one more thing real quick. It's also Radio Shack. For my maker bench, I got the variable DC power supply.
Ooh, that's nice.
Yeah, so it's got your banana plugs here, and you could vary the voltage, and it has voltage current on the meter.
I have a like very low ripple, only like half a volt. I'm like, come on.
Well, you know, half a volt back in the day, you know, wasn't that bad. I mean, I use this a lot for TTL logic, so it maintained a pretty good 5-volt supply, and this did work one big project I was doing for high school. I was trying to do a rotary encoder, a telephone rotary to digital circuit. And I was powering it by 5 volts, and I looked at the meter and it said like basically 0. So I said, oops, I forgot to turn it to 5 volts. So I start cranking it up, and it's like, no, the switch was on amps. So it was showing like nearly 0 amps. So I turned it up to 24 volts, and the blue smoke monster came out and fried my chips, and I never did get that project built for extra credit for high school. But
I like the little mark. Can you show the label with your name on it? On the top?
Oh, yeah, sorry. It's the old label maker.
Yeah, no, that's kids these days. You don't know how good you had it. Those are such a bad Kirk.
There's a font on Instagram that you can use that looks like that.
I know, there's a filter.
So you can see the Micronta, you know, labeling and everything. It's still a really nice supply. I was using it to test some stuff for Lemoore a couple weeks ago. So
showing off their label makers. Okay. All right, thank you, Mike.
All right, and then I'll play just a few seconds of what Mike was going to show, because we're going to show this on Ask an Engineer tonight. So this is what Mike was going to show.
Thanks.
Should be playing through. Okay, well, hopefully that.
If not, pretend it was playing Star Trek.
I think it was playing music. Okay, next up.
Techniack. Welcome back. Unmute your mic with your feet.
Yeah,
Hello.
Hello, everybody. I know my audio might be kind of terrible. I've been working. I got my laser cutter fired up again and started doing these wood-covered books. So I made this for a friend. And the idea being, you open it up, it's this normal Staples notebook, except I mill these covers for him. And so I have all the files online, and they're standard-sized notebooks and everything. And I found out you can actually turn a pretty good profit on a lot of them. So
yeah.
Nice.
Buy low, sell high.
What? Yep, exactly. And unfortunately, the notebook size I picked apparently doesn't exist anymore. So that's a problem. But we're working around that. You
can raise your prices and just say it was limited edition.
Yeah. Except my target audience is students, and none of us have any money. So
yeah.
That's the problem. And then my other quick thing I did for a Halloween project, but I'm now using as my tool case, is I customized an old Dremel tool case for my Doc Brown costume.
Ah, nice.
As a plutonium case. It had a speaker that played the Back to the Future theme song, had some dry ice in it. It was a fun,
cool.
fun little project. I have photos of that. I'll post at some point. But yeah, no, so I'm doing a whole bunch of these notebooks. I have some planners. I have some different things I'm working on, so I'll keep you posted on that. Should be good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Email support at Adafruit if you want to.
Yep, definitely.
Put that on there.
Make a show and tell one.
Charge more.
Yeah.
All right. It's fine. All right. Next up is Dave.
Dave Estelle. Hey, Dave.
All right. Hey, you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Good. Okay, I'm going to try and switch over to the other camera.
Traveling Dave.
There we go.
Okay.
So this is a project that I worked on the other day. It's a servo tester, so you can exercise your servos. So rotary encoder to set the angle, and then you can click once to go into a sweep mode that just exercises it throughout the sweep, so you can see that it's moving smoothly and so forth. And then with servos, you have those two boundary conditions for the pulse widths that vary from servo to servo sometimes. So this lets you set that. So you can set the lower limit and go until it stops moving. Switch, set the upper limit, go until it stops moving. Go back to the, set the angle and exercise it. So you can see, is it running smoothly? Are the gears stripped? And figure out what those endpoints are when you instantiate the the servo interface object.
Yeah, this is handy because Metal Gear servos are different than micro servos are different than a lot. Like every manufacturer is a little bit different. The standard used to be 1 to 2 milliseconds, and now it's like 0.5 to 2.5.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing a lot of.
What was that written in, Dave?
What's that?
What was that written in? What
language did you use?
CircuitPython, of course.
Oh, no, I would never guess.
That is excellent information.
And I have this other thing that I've started working on. Last week or the week before, we had that Zork running on a Itsy Bitsy M4.
Yep.
Right.
So you totally took this from me. I was gonna do it, but you did it, and it's awesome.
What's that?
I was totally thinking of doing this project, but you're doing it instead of me, which is awesome.
So this is I started with this mini Bluetooth keyboard that's in the shop, and got my Dremel out and cut the case in two since it was like welded. And so I have this keyboard. It's just the elastomer keyboard hooked up. Nicely, there were test points for all the rows and columns on the back. That's wired through a couple of the 23017 chips with an I2C to the feather that's on the back of the display. And if we can, I think if I prop it up, we can kind of see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see I can type on here, and I have the software there. It's unfortunately in C++ because it's going to be integrated with the A to Z Z interpreter machine. Yeah. So my idea is to have this, do a 3D printed case with the display all inside, and then it's like a pocket Zork machine.
This is everybody, all they want is a pocket Zork machine. That's all anybody's ever wanted in life. This is it.
So the next step is to create, since it uses M-curses to handle the display, to create an M-curses driver on the M4 for the TFT display to handle the color changes and the positioning and so forth.
Dave, I actually have some code because if you actually look on Basecamp, well, actually, no, you don't have access to my Basecamp. Ping me because I actually have a library you can use that will do that for you.
Sweet. Okay.
Sweet. So
all right.
Aren't you glad you came by and shared this project?
Oh, totally.
Special thanks to Dave, and if you see Dave in Discord or whatever, we do hug reports at Adafruit, but Dave, your guides are always delightful. Thanks for doing stuff with Adafruit. It's always a joy. You're working on some that are about to be released. They're really cool.
Okay. Oh, also regarding CircuitPython, I gave a talk on the weekend at PyCon Canada on CircuitPython, and it went over really well. People loved it. Lots of good questions and follow-on discussions after the talk. So I
added you to the Python on Hardware newsletter. I have kind of a blurry photo of a Dave sighting with the
I saw it. Yeah, yeah. There should be a video of the talk soon, and I'll post that up in Discord and send you the link. And,
all right.
Okay.
Thanks so much. All right, we're going to go to Coding Pro and then see Scott. Coding Pro.
Hey, Coding Pro, welcome back.
Hey, thank you. Can you hear me all right?
Yes.
Okay, so a while ago I made this servo survey, which was that giant dial that showed the votes yes or no, and I realized around here where I live there's really bad air quality, so I decided I'm starting to work on a project called like air, I don't have a name for it, but basically it detects the air range and then moves the pointer to the different positions, and I'm using Adafruit IO for that. And I needed to get the air quality database and then connect from that to the Adafruit IO, and I'll show you the project if I screen.
Ooh, this sounds cool.
It's kind of like a very timely modern project.
I know. This is the future.
Yeah, it's just like, it's what it is. I'm glad there's projects that we can do around.
Okay, so it's online, so you can find it here.
Yeah. So here is this air quality thing. My air quality here is pretty unhealthy right now.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
So I use an API from here, and then I get this glitch project here, which is a really useful site where you can just host free projects online. And basically gets the data and then sends it over to my Adafruit IO page here.
Perfect. How do you send it over like a webhook?
So yeah, I use what's it called? Post.
Oh, you just post it directly. Okay.
Adafruit.com.
Got it.
Yeah, and I just recommend if you're using to use glitch if you ever need to do that because it's really useful. Also, I have this cup I 3D printed. It didn't come out perfect on the bottom, but what this does, it's called a Pythagorean cup, and it's kind of funny. So you can tell people to fill it up, and they fill it up. And if they get too far up or if they're too greedy, the water all comes out. And it's a simple design thing. It's kind of funny. And also, yeah, that's mostly what I've been working on and stuff like that recently. And next week I'll probably show the finished version of my servo.
Okay. Good work. Well, if you want a sticker, you know where to find us.
I like how Glitch is a replacement for Amazon, Lambda. They have this really complicated service that does it, but it's or you can just use Glitch.
It's a really good glue for a lot of these projects.
Yeah. Okay. Nice work, Codingpro. All right. See Scott.
Hey guys, I'm a little glitchy today. Hopefully you can hear me.
Yes.
I wanted to start by saying I read a report that we lost one of the pioneers in the early days of microcomputing, Bill Godbout. He ran Godbout Electronics out of California. He was lost due to the wildfires out there now. But this I'm just showing you an ad on the screen right now. This is from 1977. Popular Electronics, and the Popular Electronics and Byte magazine back then were just so awesome because you would find stuff there that is still useful today. Let me see if I can turn off the screen share, but it should come back to me. There I am. But he made, this is, for people who don't know, this is what an S100 board looks like. This is a parallel I/O board, 32 bits of input, 32 bits of output. And I think it's important to say, if you didn't have stuff like this then you wouldn't have stuff like this now, because it's all a big chain where we're all linked together. We start at the beginning with the rudimentary stuff, and the payoff in the end is we get these nice devices. So I thought I would just at least mention that we lost one of the pioneers, at least when I was getting into things. But now, somebody mentioned Zork and the Z machine, and I said, I got a story, and the story is about the Douglas Adams had Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy come out in 1986 or 87, and we were playing it, my roommate and I were playing it on a CPM machine. And for the life of us, we could not figure out how to get to the end. And
jerks.
And the problem is, even if you had extremely detailed knowledge of the books, they put something in there that was kind of totally non-intuitive. So we wrote an informed decompiler in Z80 assembly language that would tear apart the encoded text files. And then we disassembled enough of the logic engine to figure out what we were supposed to do. What we were supposed to do, and what they didn't show us or tell you in the book, is you were supposed to feed a cheese sandwich to the dog when you were in the pub before the Vogons came and blew everything up. Anyway.
So old style games, it's like a thing, if you didn't do this one thing in the third screen, nothing would work. It was such a classic, Roberta Williams / Infocom thing. We're not allowed to do that anymore. People would kill you if you did that in gaming.
Right. But anyway, and thank you for the Trellis M4. I'm slowly getting it to work. I need to replace its reset button. I think, not during manufacture, but I just think it came from the vendor defective. The snap dome in it doesn't work.
Oh, no.
It's one of those 2% things. 2% of any batch of parts is going to be bad, and I just drew the unlucky straw. But I'm just going to get a couple off DigiKey.
Out of everyone, I'm kind of glad you got it because you can at least fix it.
Honestly, if it's in the base, you might be better off just soldering 2 blue wires out and then just putting a button, because you'll want to be resetting it all the time.
Right. But I had, as usual, since I'm running my old Win 7 system, it was being a pain in the butt. And CircuitPy shows up, but Trellis M4 boot does not. And I'm like, well, okay, enough of that. I went over to the Pi, and it worked immediately. So anyway. I should hopefully have more after Thanksgiving with the Trellis M4. But anyway, I thought I'd just mention a couple things. That's it.
All right. Yeah. And we have one person who just came in. Melissa, if you can keep it to a couple minutes.
Yes, I can.
All right.
Okay. I went to the SuperCon about a week and a half ago, and I have my badge from here, and I wrote a last-minute hack. So let me start up the program. And what it is, it's a QR code generator, so you could type something like...
I'm going to try to catch the QR code when you show it again.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Let me. Who knows if it's going to work? Let's find out. We're all getting ready.
Okay.
Okay.
So I typed in Adafruit.com, for instance.
No.
And you can do it. QR generator reader. Oh,
yeah,
yay!
Open Adafruit.com and Safari. Okay.
Nice work. That's a good generator.
Yeah, I like the site. It's a good site.
Good site.
Yeah.
And also, if you reset the badge and start the program again, it'll go with the last typed in string and generate the code. So it'd be great for going to a conference and then you want somebody to go to your website.
Nice work, Melissa.
Outstanding. We sent some Halloween badges, and one of the things that we put on it was a QR code that had the Hackaday SuperCon schedule.
Yeah, I was one of the people who didn't get one of those.
We sent a ton out. I think they had more people than they expected.
Yeah, I had a workshop, and by the time it was out, they were already out of them.
All right. Well, Melissa, since you came on the show and tell, email support@adafruit.com for your sticker, but email pt@adafruit.com. I'm going to send you a Halloween.
Oh, thank you very much.
That's right. Well, you're supposed to get one anyway. So.
And you can try the QR code that we've written for that too.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, you can have them talk
2 QRs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank
All right,
you.
well, that is a show and tell tonight. Thank you, Techniack.
Thank you, Noe Pedro. Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Melissa. Thank you, Kenny, JP, Dave, C. Scott, Colin. Play us out, JP.
See you, everybody, next week. And we'll see Ask an Engineer, 8 p.m. 7:30 p.m. time for show and tell. Thank you, everybody, for making this. Most fun we have every single week, and if we don't see you next week because of the holiday, we are thankful for all of you making this cool Adafruit community together. Bye-bye, everybody.